and welcome to Complex Sportive CN, home of Flag Plus Football's Division D Championship Finals game between the number 1 seed 10-0 Snowdon Deli Degens and the number 2 seed the 9-1 Rick and Marty. I'm Brent Bach, and I'm joined by my co-host and broadcast partner here, Keon Cyrus. Keon, the top 2 teams in Division D, top 2 offenses, top 4 defenses. I think it's the best of the best, the cream of the crop, if you will, here in Division D. What kind of game should we be expecting here this afternoon?
I expect 2 different styles of play. They both are electric offensively. They have great defenses as well. So I'll be very surprised if it's one team pulls away early. I expect it to be very close from beginning to end.
All right, so these 2 teams, one of the rarities here in finals weekend. Usually you see teams play each other in the regular season once. We just did a Division F championship where the 2 teams had played each other twice in the regular season. Both Rick and Marty and Snowdon Deli Degens did not meet during the regular season. So this is the first meeting. A lot of all-stars on both sides. We have, of course, the quarterbacks. Adam Malinoff, Division D quarterback of the year, 56 touchdowns. For Adam Malinoff. There's Marty Freeman, who made All-Star as well, 44 touchdowns from the quarterback position. There's Noah Groper, Division D receiver of the year. He had, get this, 52 catches, 675 yards, 25 touchdowns.
Rick Roper, honestly, it's tough to cover him. I played against him twice this year. Marty just knows how to find them, and having a receiver like Roper in Division D, it's practically harder or unstoppable to actually contain.
Definitely, and even let's not forget about Evan Shivek, pardon me, also as well, 20 touchdowns. Of course, he plays for the Snowdon Deli Degens. Again, this is a big matchup. A lot of other headlines in this game. The Battle of the Rushers. Jeremy Steinberg, 14 sacks this season. I know buddy of yours, buddy of mine as well, Michael Schiller, arguably I think the tallest player in FPF, coming in at about maybe 6'6", 6'7", 6 sacks in the regular season, 5 pass deflections though. So obviously 2 big-time snappers in this game as well. We talked about the quarterback battle, Freeman against Malinoff. And it looks like right now, I believe it's going to be
Rick and Marty with the ball.
Rick and Marty starting with the ball there in white. So let's get to the game. So Rick and Marty again wearing white. Snowdon Deli Degens wearing all black. Pass over the middle, caught right away. Brennan Burke, quick catcher. He's tackled right away. But Snowdon Deli Degens defense, pick up of about, I want to say, about a yard, maybe 2 at the most right there. Tackle made by Matthew Lutner, number 84 for the Snowdon Deli Degens. Had a chance this week to talk to Jeremy Steinberg on the FPF podcast, the First and Goal podcast, and he mentioned actually when I asked him who is the most underrated player on the team, and that's the first thing that came out of his mouth was Matthew Lutner. 4 interceptions in the regular season. Even as a receiver, he had 2 touchdowns. Not a lot of big numbers, he said, but in the postseason, he has been heating up in terms of his play on both sides of the ball. Freeman now going to the flag. Nice catch there. Looks like that was number 15, Jonathan Perez there with the catch, bringing the ball out of bounds.
Great route by Perez there. Marty, calm, collected quarterback. He's been playing well in the playoffs, so I expect the same with him.
Yeah, Perez picking up about 9-10 yards right there, getting the first down for his squad. Yeah, so Lutner, 4 interceptions, 2 pick sixes in the playoffs so far. So fresh set of downs here for the Rick and Marty offense. Again, led by Marty Freeman. Freeman wastes a snap. He gets it from Berg. Freeman's look to his right. Now he's going to the left. He's going to run. Aiming for the left sideline. Stretches out the ball. Not enough for the first down, but a pickup of about 4, maybe 5 yards on the run right there by Freeman.
With Marty running there, Marty doesn't run that often, but he has shown in the playoffs when he needs to, he will run. I don't think it's something for Snowdon Deli Degens to necessarily pay too much attention for, but if he keeps running often, then you might have to change things there. Jeremy Steinberg, I know, is one of the great rushers, up-and-coming rushers in FPF. I know he's going to try to set. I spoke to him earlier today, and he wants to set his tone in this game, especially early.
So about 5 yards to go for Rick and Marty until they pick up the first here. Again, base formation, 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right, and of course the snapper in the middle being Burke. Freeman gets a snap. He looks to his left to Burke. He hits him. It's going to be enough for the first down and then some. Brought down by number 12 and Lewis Epstein. A first down for Burke and his offense. See Adam Malinoff right now on the sideline getting ready. Mentally preparing himself, number 7, waiting to get onto the field again, the reigning quarterback of the year in this division. Freeman, no. Basically, who came in second in the quarterback of the year voting, getting 44 touchdowns. He's done a good job so far on this drive, missing in both the pass and the run.
Both these quarterbacks, again, like you said, great quarterback resume, especially for this year. I know Marty's looking for his first championship, and for Malinov, he's won in junior, never won in the upper leagues at FPF as a quarterback, especially. So for one of these two QBs, one of them is winning their first championship.
Yeah, a lot of players looking for the first championships, but a big disparity in terms of experience. I'll get to that a little later. Pass to Noah Groper, the receiver of the year. Pick up about 7 yards right there for Groper.
Expect him to have the ball in his hands a lot in this game, no matter where they might move him around, but I expect him to be catching a lot of balls from Marty Freeman.
Officials for this game, Leo Gervais again, the head referee in the middle on the left sideline. Celeste Diab on the right sideline is Leo's daughter, Phoebe Gervais. Phoebe will have a chance to go for the Women's Division II Championship as her team Chaos takes on Supernova. Comes Freeman now. 2nd and 1 here. First down's at about the 3-yard line. Freeman passing in. Oh, caught by Schiller. Touchdown. Rick and Marty.
When you have a guy like Michael Schiller, 6'7", on your team, it's hard to ignore him. And he might not have the offensive numbers throughout the season and the playoffs, but you still got to account for a 6'7" giant on the field.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And for Schiller, who had 1 touchdown in the regular season, that is his first touchdown of the postseason now. And hey, listen, better late than never, right? If you're gonna get your first touchdown in the postseason, might as well be in the finals.
Exactly. Michael, I know he's going for his 2nd championship. He won one with Gold Rush. Coincidentally enough, with number 12 on Snowdon Deli Degens with Lewis Epstein with Gold Rush last winter.
So 2-point conversion attempt here for Rick and Marty. Right down the middle of the end zone. Burke wide open. 2-point conversion is good. 8-0 lead for Rick and Marty as they strike first in this contest.
Flawless drive there. Marty seemed he was in his groove there. But I expect that from a team like Rick and Marty that have been 9-1. Great offense, good defense. But now the 10-0 Snowdon Deli Degens could show off why they deserve to be in this finals with Malinov, quarterback of the year, under center.
So we saw an impressive first drive right there for Rick and Marty. What do you want to see here out of the Snowdon Deli Degens in their first offensive possession of the game?
I've seen good with Snowdon Deli Degens, just keeping it safe. Whether it's outs like they've been running or hooks, Malinov is going to have a tough time with Schiller, but he has to stay composed.
And looks like he's having a tough time right now, and Schiller with the sack. The big man, Mike Schiller, with a sack there of about 3 yards. Malinov thought he was free. He was trying to take the ball up the right-hand side for a big run, but Schiller put his long right arm out there and deflagged the quarterback. So now 2nd and long facing the Snowdon Deli Degens offense.
That was a great rush. Malinov, normally the mobile quarterback, but when you have Michael Schiller, who does have a long reach being 6'7", might have to change a bit of a game plan, but at the same time, too, you don't want to change your game plan too much for the rusher. You still got to play your game.
2nd down now, Malinov gets the snap, number 7. He goes to the left-hand side, and that pass caught. The receiver, they're making collision with the big man, Janaridi. Speaking of veterans, Janaridi, number 33, FPF Hall of Famer, part of the 2019 induction class, and that catch there, made by number 27, and that's Matthew Fixman for the Snowdon Deli Degens. A little slow to get up. His body kind of bent a little awkwardly there, the snapper, as he and Janaridi collided, but he looks to be okay, not going to the sideline, staying in the game. 2nd and 1 now. 3rd and 1, I should say. Pass over the middle, gets caught, first down. Pass is caught there by Epstein, who you talked about earlier, winning a championship with Gold Rush. Epstein picks up the first down for his squad.
That was a great stuff from Malinov, especially from the big sack from Michael Schiller on the first play. Getting 2 simple passes to his receivers, being accurate, getting the first down, moving the ball down the field.
So fresh set of downs here, just past midfield now for the Snowdon Deli Degens offense.
Run balance with 2 receivers on each side.
Malinoff gets a snap. He looks to his right. Pump face. He goes to the left, trying to get past Schiller. He does. Gets past Aridi. Can he get past Groper? No, he can't. But a pickup of about, I want to say, 7, maybe 8. No, I'll call it 9 yards right there.
Yeah, what a great run there. It looked like Michael Schiller was going to get the sack again, but Malinoff, being mobile, knows how to use his hips around rushers, was able to get around and get past another defender to make it 2nd and 1.
Coming into today's game, Malinoff had 129 yards on 12 carries and a touchdown, averaging about 11 yards a carry. Pickup of a little bit shy of that, pickup of 9, but now setting up a 2nd and 1. Tons of options, I should say, pardon me, for the Snowdon Deli Degens offense. Malinoff gets a snap, thought about going over the middle. Kind of a throwaway, if anything, right there. I mean, the receiver was in the area, number 29 in Shivek, but it was more of a throwaway there, throwing the ball at his feet. Again, pressured heavily was Malinoff by the big man and Mike Schiller.
100%. That was a throwaway. You couldn't do anything because Michael Schiller was going to get the sack there. So, honestly, smart for Malinoff for getting it out. But that's the thing. With Michael Schiller running, being fast, and being long with a long wingspan, you might have to get some of those throwaways.
Malinoff gets a snap, quick pass to the right sideline, caught, feet in bounds, first down, Snowdon Deli Degens.
I think that was by Max Kadanoff, if not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe you're right, yeah, number 14.
Yeah.
So a big catch right there by Kadanoff on the sideline to keep this drive alive, continue the drive for Snowdon Deli Degens.
For Malinoff, especially on short yardages, has to get the ball out because having Michael Schiller rushing, as soon as Schiller's in his face, it's tough. He takes away so much surrounding space, but if he gets the ball out quick there, then there's nothing Schiller could do.
Malinoff gets the ball past the left-hand side, caught, touchdown, Snowdon Deli Degens. Lewis Epstein gets his team on the board. They're down by 2.
Great drive by Snowdon. It started off rough with the sack, but Malinoff and company showed that why they're 10-0, why their offense is deemed to be the number 1 offense in Division D. And going for 2 to tie the game. Snowdon tends to run a lot of 1-point conversions from at least experience, but with Rick and Marty normally going for 2, they might have to change that philosophy to match up with the scores.
So here comes Malinoff with the attempt. Now pass it back in the end zone is caught in bounds. So the 1-point combo there for Snowdon Deli Degens, so now they trail 8-7.
Yeah. And they went for 1 there. They were typical bread and butter play with Evan Shivik being on the receiving end of that.
So long, methodical drive by both teams right there, eating up a lot of the clock. Almost 9 minutes in counting remaining here in the first half. What do you want to see here, Keon, under the Rick and Marty offense now in their second drive of the game?
Same thing as the first drive. I don't expect Rick and Marty to go deep too often. When you have a playmaker like Noah Groper that could just make yards with his speed and his hands, don't always have to go deep, just finding where he's open, and his other receivers too. Very reliable, and Jonathan Perez as well.
So I think Marty should listen to you right there about not going deep. Freeman was open, just a bad pass. Pardon me, Groper was open, just a bad pass by Freeman. Looking at how both teams got here, Rick and Marty using their defense, 5 INTs so far in this postseason. They beat the number 19 seed Team Ethnic 40-20 in the divisional round. Then knocking off then knocking off the Nighthawks, the 16 seed, 16-7 in the quarterfinals. And then they beat a team called FBIFC that I think Keon plays for. We'll get to that in a second here. Burke with the catch over the middle. He's tackled after a minimal gain there. So yeah, I had a chance, obviously, again, last Tuesday here in Broussard. Bit of a rough outing for you guys, losing 50-12 to Rick and Marty in the semifinals. Just a bad game all around, specifically by your offense.
Yeah, honestly, our offense has been playing well leading up to that point. We've been scoring 40 roughly plus, but again, our offense didn't play as well, especially in the first half, and just things didn't go our way, and Rick and Marty played pretty flawless throughout the game. I think they scored probably every position they had, got interceptions when we had to go deep, unfortunately, but credit to them. They played a phenomenal game for them to reach to the finals against Snowdon Deli Degens.
Freeman gets a snap, quick pass. Corey Sim Robertson on the sideline. The big man trying to make his way a little bit down the sideline. Picked up enough, though, I believe, for the first down.
Yep.
That's the first down there, but the big man, Corey Sim Robinson, one of three members of his team that plays in the FPF 35 plus league as well, along with Jad Aridi and Marty Freeman. Although Marty is not 35 yet, but I mean somehow he manages to get his way onto to Sean Abrams' roster, so it is what it is.
He's reaching up there, but yeah, he has his ways of being part of FPF for a while as he's been.
Yeah, so yeah, I suppose part of the OG FPF community, so I guess he's allowed to. I mean, he's closer to 35 than he is to 25. So I mean, I guess
100%.
he's able to get into the 35 plus league. It's all about playing football, right? Having fun. Freeman gets a snap here on first down. Wobbly pass over the middle. Oh, and that was a dangerous one right there. You can see the frustration on the face of and the body language of their number 27, Matthew Fixman. He thought that should have been picked off for sure, and I can't say I disagree with him.
It was an unfortunate case for Rick and Marty. They're lucky that they didn't get picked off by either Fixman or any other Snowdon Deli Degen defender there. It's not a ball I expect Marty to throw because he is more to be conservative. He knows where he wants to throw the ball, and that one with Jeremy Steinberg rushing at him, that probably caused the reason why that he threw a ball that was not necessarily in his forte.
Guess Diamond number 88. Again, having a chance to talk to him earlier, last week now on the podcast, and he said he's a quarterback obviously as well, but he says he loves being the rusher. That is his favorite position. Freeman going deep. Intended for Groper. Good coverage though right there. Number 29 was in Freeman's back pocket, and that's Evan Shivek, right there.
That was great coverage. I know when it comes to red zone, Groper is the number one target as leading with 25 touchdowns, but having Evan Shivek there, playing great coverage there to force the ball overthrown.
So I talked before about Rick and Marty's path to today's game. Snowdon Deli Degens, they beat the number 20 seed, Born Ready 38-13 in the divisional round. They beat Vieux Lynx 39-32 here in Broussard in the quarterfinals. And then this past Tuesday, they beat the number 12 seed, the Studs, 45-26 in the semifinal matchup. So, both teams playing great on both sides of the ball, but specifically using their defense to help them advance. Now, looks to be a bit of a nice catch there by Sim Robertson walking up the sideline. Not into the end zone, though.
Yeah, great ball there. Marty loves his outs and corners, so that might be something for the Degens to kind of change up with their defense, focusing a lot on the sidelines.
First and goal there off the catch by Sim Robertson. Again, as I was saying, yeah, both teams getting some solid play on both sides of the ball, using their defense to get some turnovers. And I say that I believe right now, I mean, maybe a little early again with just under 5 minutes remaining here in the first half, but both defenses, they're playing not bad. We've seen the offenses score, but the long drives where you got to move down the field slowly, dinking and dunking.
For sure.
Both teams trying for the deep ball have not been successful so far. Freeman gets the snap. He looks to his left. Jump pass over the middle. Bobbled and dropped. Intended for number 15, Jonathan Perez.
That was one where everyone looked like everyone was boxed up and covered. Snowdon Deli Degens covered everyone well there, and the rush from Steinberg was pretty contained. So all around, that was a great defensive drive, at least for that play.
So dropped there by Perez. Yes, be careful though. Sam the man, Anastasopoulos is in the area. I mean, we've seen Sam this year in Division B, made All-Star. He played so flush in Division C. One of the top players, no matter what team he is on. Just kind of seems to have a nose for the ball.
100%. Sam loves being with the ball in his hands, whether on offense, on defense. So that's something for Marty to watch out on when he's playing middle.
Marty throws away from him, goes to Schiller in the corner. Jump ball! Schiller took a bit of a bump there. Couldn't hang on to the ball.
Yeah, that was that might have been a bit early, but again, Louis Epstein was there in the corner, but I think that could have been a bit of a contact early, especially before the ball got there.
You talked about before, right? It's Schiller and Epstein playing together before. I just saw Schiller give a bounce, give a little low five there to Epstein, saying good coverage.
Yeah, that is Michael Schiller, and honestly, that's a ball that Marty Freeman has to throw. If you were throwing to Michael Schiller there, you got to throw it wherever he could reach, and I was right at the corner. You can't get much more of a corner than that.
Freeman gets a snap now. He looks over the middle. He has Burke. Oh, Burke able to squeeze the hands together to get that ball. And I tell you what, Anastasopoulos was right there in the area. Almost got a fingertip on that pass, but he couldn't. Touchdown, Rick and Marty.
That was a great ball. Brendan Burke being right at the right place, being that safety blanket as a center. But all I have to say for that, great drive from Rick and Marty. But that pass, knowing Sam and playing with Sam for quite a few seasons, he will pick that off if that ball comes to him again.
And speaking of Sam Anastopoulos again, number 17, what makes him so special? I mean, again, you played with him on a couple of different teams the last few years.
Just talent. He might not be the fastest guy, but he knows, especially his reading, especially on defense. He knows how to jump passes, make tackles. He's always be diving, and especially on offense, just a knack of getting the ball.
Oh, there's a play right there. Oh, Anastopoulos was in the area, but number 15 there, Perez with the big grab.
That was a nice grab there by Jonathan Perez.
So Rick and Marty has extended their lead now. About 2 minutes remaining. We're in the pro clock, pardon me, right here now. To end the first half. 16-0 is the lead for Rick and Marty over the Snowdon Deli Degens.
With it being pro clock, might be a little dangerous, but like for Snowdon Deli Degens, as long as you're still composed, because they have the 2 minute pro clock, and if they can either go quick or they could have the score within like 2 points going into half, they get ball back second half.
Malinoff gets a snap. He looks to his left. He goes there. Anastopoulos with the catch. Deflagged by Sim Robertson. Clock is running now. Pickup of about 9 there on first down. So lots of time, though. Just a bit more than 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. No rush right here for the Snowdon Deli Degens offense.
If it was up to me, I would have Snowdon kind of rush down the clock.
Malinoff, he's going deep to the right side. Oh, off the hands of the intended receiver. He was open, number 14, Mas Kadanoff. Not sure if he would have been able to get into the end zone with a Kesha, but he at least would have got a first down for his squad.
That was a nice ball by Malinoff. Unfortunate for Kadanoff not getting his hands ready on time on there. Maybe didn't expect that the ball was going to come too quick like that.
3rd and 1 now, facing the Snowdon Deli Degens offense. Malinoff gets the snap, goes to the right-hand side to the flats, first down. Matthew Leutner with the grab. Leutner, pardon me. So number 84 keeps this drive alive for the Snowdon Deli Degens. A minute 20 and counting remaining here in the first half. Brent Bach and Keon Cyrus with you live in Broussard. So an official's timeout right there. Phoebe Gervais setting the first down marker 10 yards down the field. Looked like it was about 7 before the whistle. Play continues now. Malinoff looking down the left-hand side. Caught by Epstein. Got a little shove from behind by Aridi.
Yeah, I think that was fake spin. But that was a nice route, though, because he ran it right behind Michael Schiller. He looked like he was going to run a little out to the right, but as soon as Schiller passed as the rusher, cut left, and Schiller had no idea that he was there, so it gave Malinoff a perfect opening there for the pass.
Yeah, you're right, number 27, not number 12, you're right. Fixman there with the catch. Malinoff running now. Can he get a first down? Breaks a tackle, finally deflagged by Aridi, but it's going to be enough for the first down. Timeout called here by Rick and Marty. So for about 48.8 seconds remaining here on the clock, timeout called by Rick and Marty. I got to ask you, Keon, do you think you're calling a timeout now to potentially get the ball back and be able to get something on the board before the half ends, or why do you think they're calling a timeout here?
That would be my explanation. I don't think their defense has been bad or any means, but especially to save some clock, especially if Snowdon scores now, that would be the only reason for why I would call a timeout, because their defense has been fine.
So first down at the 9-yard line. First and goal for Deli Degens. A high snap, Malinoff gets it up the air. Fastball over the middle. Anastasopoulos. Touchdown! Yeah, Rick and Marty does not agree with that call. I think they feel like Perez deflagged the receiver at the 1-yard line, but nonetheless, the play sounds touchdown from Sam Anastopoulos. Making this a 3-point game right now. His team is down 16-13.
Looks like they're going for one, as it's been their bread and butter all season.
Would you go for one here being down by 3? Would you go for 2?
At this point, you just go for one, because if your defense gets a stop now before half, you get ball back second half. So I would say it's good to go for one now, but they might have to change, especially with Rick and Marty going for 2.
Now if you're passing the back of the end zone off the hands of the intended receiver, falls out of bounds. So 16-13 lead for Snowdon Deli Degens. Pardon me, for Rick and Marty, I should say, with 42.7 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yep. Honestly, it's been a great game for both sides. They both haven't tested much deep, which I expected more from Snowdon Deli Degens as they tend to go deep more often than Rick and Marty. So, but with 42 seconds left as well, maybe Rick and Marty might start opening the field. Not maybe for like a long bomb, but maybe for like 15 yards or like 10 to 15 yards of a catch because they could get the first down with the clock.
So that timeout call by Rick and Marty was smart. Getting the ball back again, just less than a minute remaining here in the first half. They have time to march the field. Low snap. Rolls into the end zone. I don't think it'll be enough for a safety, though.
Looks like it was just stopped at like the 2.
Yeah, 2 yard line, exactly. That's a good call there by head referee Leo Gervais. The ball bounced in front of Freeman, bounced off of his foot, and ended up rolling into the end zone. But again, calling it down right there at about the 1 or 2 yard line. Lucky right there. Lucky play. For Rick and Marty, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, very much. They're very fortunate, but now they're still backed up inside their own 2.
Freeman gets a snap now. He little sidearm pass to the right-hand side to Perez. Perez now working his way to the sideline. He gets it a bounce. So not a first down, but he's able, by getting on the bounce, to stop the clock now. 7.9 seconds remaining on the clock. Ball's about, I want to say, 2.5, 3 yards away from the first down.
That concept actually shifted the whole defense of Snowdon Deli Degens. Everyone shifted towards the right where Perez ran towards the left. And so he was wide open there, was able to get a lot of extra yards there. Even though he didn't get the first down, he had enough space to run forward and get it out, making it manageable with, I guess, 7, 8 seconds.
Ball about 5 yards away from midfield. Freeman gets the snap. Is he going to go deep? Yes, he is going to go deep. Pass down the sideline, and it's intercepted. Takeaway there by number 12, Lewis Epstein. 2.1 seconds remaining on the clock. So the first turnover of the game is forced by the Snowdon Deli Degens defense. As I said earlier, both teams finishing in the top 4 in defense. Snowdon finishing 4th in the defensive rating. Rick and Marty finishing 2nd.
This is a questionable decision for Snowdon Deli Degens. I know they have 1 play left. Malinoff has the arm. But do you want to risk it by going for it with 1 play left where you have... Well, it looks like they switched rushers, so it looks like Noah Groper is actually going to rush instead of Michael Schiller, who Noah Groper himself is a really good rusher. He rushes in the higher divisions.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So Groper's fast. He has experience at rusher, and the smart move I think Keon right here is getting Schiller again, 6'7". Let him play defensive back right here on the Hail Mary attempt. Malinoff goes deep to the left-hand side away from Schiller. Oh, and that pass is almost caught right there. Intended receiver was 29, and Evan Shivek, but just couldn't come up with the ball.
That was a perfect ball. He threw it early, too. Groper was in his face, and Shivek honestly jumped for the ball at the right time. No other defender kind of was in the air for him. He just wasn't able to catch it with his hands at the end. All right, I think we are on. So I think we have it at halftime. Snowdon Deli Degens trailing Rick and Marty with a score of 13-16.
Yep, 16-13, 3-point lead, yep, for Rick and Marty.
So how do you find the first half is going, Brent?
I personally think it's going good. I mean, it's exciting. Again, we said the top 2 teams here in Division D going out here. The number 1 seed, Snowdon Deli Degens, the number 2 seed, Rick and Marty. So we saw both teams came on an opening drive, right? They get a touchdown. They kind of established a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of momentum. And then it seemed like, I don't want to say it stalled. I mean, both teams have added some other points, right? Again, 16-13 lead for Rick and Marty. I want to get your opinion on this. I mean, we saw at the end that Rick and Marty was trying to get the ball to the end zone. Didn't really look as smooth as they did earlier in the game on the opening drive. I'm just wondering perhaps maybe if some momentum has now swinging towards the Snowdon Deli Degens.
I think, yeah, with especially with they had time on the clock there, but with only 42 seconds, I know Marty doesn't tend to chuck it deep often, so the fact that he's forced to in that situation might have made it uncomfortable. It did look like that drive was kind of like a bit out of the norm, but that's what Snowdon Deli Degens wanted. And they actually had a shot to get the ball back with 2 seconds left and going across the field for an unsuccessful attempt for a Hail Mary.
And now listen, if you're playing for the Snowdon Deli Degens, and you just said it right there, right? Marty doesn't throw deep that often, and we've seen so far in this contest when he has thrown deep, hasn't really been all that accurate, right? How do you take away the short game and force Rick and Marty to become one-dimensional by going for the deep ball on offense?
The guys playing short have to be aggressive. They love running from looks like slants, and Brandon Burks either likes to go deep or likes to play very short as an outlet, especially for like Lewis Epstein playing out on the edge or perhaps Sam playing the middle, being as aggressive, and perhaps they have had chances to get an interception. They haven't got one yet until the very end, but in terms of the regular field play, they haven't. So they just might have to jump one and be more aggressive.
And switching sides now to the Rick and Marty defense we talked about, right? Snowdon Deli Degens, they were the number one offense in Division D. They only have 13 points so far. What do you think Rick and Marty is doing defensively so far that's worked out for them in the first half?
They're preventing the deep ball because Malinov loves throwing deep. They've been doing a very good job, but I expect their kind of pass attack for Snowdon Deli Degens to kind of change up. But for Rick and Marty, honestly, playing the same defense, having Michael Schiller rushing Malinov the way he's been doing, which has been working for the most part. And the thing is, they have speed on Snowdon Deli Degens. They have guys with hands, so I don't know if it's going to be the point where they're going to try to create one-on-one matchups, especially with like Sam Anastasiopoulos, Evan Shivik, Lewis Epstein. They have ballers there, so especially if they leave it towards the one-on-ones, you never know. But I expect, honestly, for Snowdon to feel that they're in control more in this game.
Here we go. Let's see who's in control right here on this play. Malinov gets the pass. He avoids Schiller. He's going to run. Breaks one tackle. Can he break another? He's going up the left sideline. Malinov, a huge gain right there on first down.
That's the thing. He broke the tackle off Michael Schiller as the rusher and was able to just move. And Malinov is quick. He is a mobile quarterback. He loves to use his legs when he needs to. And in that play, as soon as he passed Schiller, who does take such a big part of the field for Rick and Marty, if you break down the rusher off, especially for this defense, you could get around with Malinov as quick as he is.
So first down now, past midfield for the Snowdon Deli Degens offense. Malinov, quick fastball with the left-hand side. That's caught. Enough for the first down. Not a touchdown, though. Reception made. Looks like that was...
Was
I believe
Epstein?
that was Epstein? Yeah, number 12. Yep. Nice catch for him right there. We talked about Snowdon Deli Degens again, trying to complete their path to the profession, looking to join the Braves in Division A's. Two teams who are coming into today's finals weekend, looking to complete the perfect season. For Rick and Marty, their only loss was all the way back in week 3, 20-18 versus Glow Gang. That was all the way back in June past, and that one hit the turf. Yeah, Leo Gervais, the head referee, calling that one incomplete. That was catted off there, not able to make the grab.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, that did hit the ground slightly. It was tough, though, especially with the angle, but Leo had a pretty clear angle there. Phoebe, unfortunately, couldn't see it because Katanoff was right in front of her, and the ball was kind of not in her view. But as the head ref Leo said, if it was incomplete, it's incomplete.
We talked about earlier, this is the first finals for a couple of members of the Snowdon Deli Degens, specifically for Jeremy Steinberg. Pass to the left-hand side, caught. Nice tackle. I don't believe they're calling that a touchdown. I don't see a touchdown being signaled here, so.
Yeah, it got in because it didn't look like Katanov got flagged there, actually.
Okay, yeah, it is a touchdown, yeah. So Leo Gervais saying 1-point conversion attempts right here for Snowdon Deli Degens. So the touchdown is good. 19-16 lead now for the Snowdon Deli Degens.
Flawless second half first drive for them. And that's what you need, especially with the first half. Yeah, you didn't get that deep ball to Shivik at the end, but that's what happens being the number one seed. You get the opportunity of starting the ball with this in the second half.
Yep. Apologize. Usually we have the replay on our monitor. The monitor doesn't seem to be working right now, so do the best we can. Play continues here. Extra point conversion, and it's good. 1-point convo. Good, caught in the back of the end zone by the Snowdon Deli Degens' Lewis Epstein. Now the lead is 20-16.
That was a nice ball by Malinov. A rare sighting of throwing it across the middle when you have a 6'7" rusher there, but he threw it right where Epstein was in the back in the end zone.
So 4-point lead, 20-16 for the Snowdon Deli Degens, who trailed for much of that first half. Freeman waits to snap. He gets it. He look to his right. Quick passer. Flips it over to Berg. Berg breaks one tackle. Couldn't break another. Looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. Yeah, a pickup of about 10 and a half right there by the veteran and Brendan Burke.
Brennan's been pretty accurate with his catches, old reliable with his hands. Honestly, if it's working with him as being the number one receiver today, if they're shadowing Groper too much, by all means, I think he has 1 or 2 touchdowns today for Brennan Burke. So keep it up, honestly, with him. That might have to challenge Sam because Sam looks like he's been playing the middle.
So some late-minute instructions from Sam Anastopoulos, get number 17. Marty Freeman giving his center Burke, perhaps maybe changing the play at the line of scrimmage, seeing something they like or maybe don't like here. First down. Burke snaps to Freeman. Freeman looks to his left. He goes there right over the middle, actually, to Burke. Burke, though, tackled right away by Leutner.
One thing for Snowdon Deli Degens there, they are letting a bit of space on the line of scrimmage. I know Jeremy Steinberg, as a great rusher as he is, he has no chance of getting even close to Marty Freeman, as by the time he reaches the line of scrimmage, the ball's already out. So maybe it's something for Snowdon Deli Degens to maybe play a bit tighter up on the line of scrimmage to perhaps make those throws less of an easy possibility.
Freeman now, waiting for his offense to set up at the line of scrimmage. Freeman gets a snap. He looks to his right. Flag on the field. Pass to Groper in the corner. Gets tackled immediately by Anastopoulos. Yeah, so they put out in the offense.
Yeah, I think it was on Michael Schiller being offside, a bit too eager to start his route.
Yep, you're right. Good call right there, Keon. So offside there by the offense. And now we get the play-by-play on our monitor. So able to see what's going on here from the far view, obviously, of the field and up close here on the monitor. Getting 20-16 lead, as you can see at home. Just outside of 14 minutes remaining here in the second half. Brent Bach and Keon Cyrus with you live. This is Complex Sportive CN. Pass, kind of a throwaway, if anything, right there by Freeman. He was pressured immediately by Steinberg. Good rush there by Jeremy Steinberg.
That was a defense that Snowdon Deli Degens needed to play there, forcing Marty out of his early reads and forcing a throwaway there.
So now with Snowdon Deli Degens having the lead here, Keon, how do you think that switches things? Again, they trail for most of that second half. They finally get the lead here to start the second. How are they going to be able to carry that momentum now and make sure they can get out of here with the W?
They have to stay composed, especially on this drive on defense. I know these guys, I played a lot with them, and I know if they do get a stop here, the momentum of this, not even of the game, but like how they perceive themselves is definitely going to be an issue.
Got a bounce intended for Groper.
Yeah, so with this Snowdon Deli Degens defense, if they get a stop here, you're going to hear it from their bench. Their bench, their players, and the crowd even is going to be hyping them up. So it's important for Rick and Marty to stay composed. They've been in control in this game literally until maybe a few minutes ago, where that's why they didn't have the ball in the second half to start off with. So if they stay composed and take the game slow, which is what has been working for them. So now
it's fourth down right now. Fourth and long. It looks like about fourth and 10 right here.
Yeah, this is not a comfortable situation for them. But again, this is where you would expect number 4, Noah Groper, to be on the receiving end. But Brendan Burks has been playing really well, too. So you got to watch for those two guys as well, especially.
About 5 seconds remaining in the play clock now. Snap. Freeman goes to his right. He's going deep. Sidearm. Perez, and he made the catch. Yes, he did.
What a
Jonathan Perez with a huge catch, giving Rick and Marty the first down.
One guy I didn't mention, but got to watch out for Jonathan Perez, the second leading receiver on this team. Behind Noah Groper, very reliable with his routes. Might not run the fastest, but he's reliable with his hands and the spacing there. That was a much-needed fourth down conversion by Rick and Marty, because I know if they didn't capitalize there, Snowdon would have felt like they had all the momentum in the world. So that was a big momentum swing just for that fourth down conversion.
So fresh set of downs here for Rick and Marty, just past midfield. Freeman gets a snap, goes to the flat to Groper, tackled though right away. Nice tackle there near the sideline by Shevik. course, Rick and Marty without the services of Jacob Saxner. A bit of a two-way threat for them throughout the regular season. Not in the lineup here today, at least not on the sideline.
No. Saxon unfortunately hasn't played with Rick and Marty throughout the playoffs, as he is currently not in the country. But they've had guys step up on defense, and losing a key part in Saxon does hurt, especially on the defensive end, as he did play a key part with 7 interceptions throughout the season. But it's been working for Rick and Marty.
Freeman, this is working as well. Passed it a flat to Burke. Tackled though immediately. Only about maybe a 1, maybe 2 yard gain right there by Burke.
Yeah, I think that was a yard if generous there.
Yeah, tackled by Katadoff again, number 14. Called his name a couple of times here in this contest.
Yeah. So this sounds like Noah Groper territory, red zone opportunity. But again, Brennan Burke has been pretty much the red zone target in this game, especially.
So now, if you're throwing the ball to Groper here, are you doing like a quick out? Are you doing a crosser? Or are you doing maybe a corner route?
I would say, honestly, even like an in and out for Groper. He won't necessarily maybe go over top in the back of the end zone, but I can see him going towards like a slant out or just a quick out.
Freeman gets the snap. He looks to his right, goes to the back of the end zone. Coreyson Robertson, touchdown! Good job by the big man, getting not 1 but 2 feet inbounds there, making the grab. Touchdown, Rick and Marty, and they retake the lead here by a score of 22-20.
With that, though, all 3 guys on the left side, including Sam Anastasiopoulos, Evan Chivik, and Matthew Leutner, they all focus on Groper's triple move there, which allowed Corey Sims Robertson to be open in the back of the end zone there. And great job for catching it with his feet in bounds. But that's how much attention Noah Groper gets. All 3 guys were watching him, and no one watched the fact that someone was actually behind them. And if they were probably playing lanes, that's the one weakness you have is if you watch the front, you don't watch too much of what's going on behind, especially with no communication there.
So 2-point convo attempt here by Rick and Marty, looking to go up by 4. Sidearm pass. That one just looked awkward right there by Freeman. Good rush by Steinberg.
Yeah, that was. These points are key, though. I know it's only a 2-point game, but these points add up, and with less than 9 minutes left in this game, a stop like that could honestly, you never know. It could be the difference when it comes to last second touchdown, where a convert could either win the game or tie the game. But now let's see what Snowdon down by 2.
So Malinoff with his squad now back on the field. Malinoff's going deep down the left-hand side. A bump there by Freeman. Got pass interference. Good call right there by Alexa Diab, the official. Freeman ended up bumping the receiver.
So unfortunately there, that is something where Marty didn't turn around there. And I knew the ball, it might have seemed uncatchable to some, but Chivik, with that route, he was going to cut back into it. And if Marty didn't turn around and play the ball there, caused, unfortunately, a pass interference. I've been on both sides of that as the receiver and the DB. At DB, you're going to hate that call, but as a receiver, you're in a position where you're not allowed to catch the ball there, and you have to get a chance to, and unfortunately, Marty didn't get a chance to turn. And is this perhaps a challenge? I'm not sure.
Yeah, in the finals, you can challenge plays.
Oh.
I'm not sure pass interference is one of the plays you could challenge here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cut and dry. I mean,
Yeah.
the receiver was a step ahead. Freeman definitely bumped the receiver off of his route. I think that, so we see here right on the instant replay, right on our right side screen there. So we see Freeman get the pass off, almost batted down by Schiller. So you see Freeman now and Shivik running step for step. Shivik has at least a step or 2 now on Freeman, and Freeman bumps him.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was intentional, but it wasn't intentional. Sorry, but unfortunately, which is in the wrong place.
Malinoff going to the right, pass to the left, touchdown!
Matthew Fixman.
Fixman for another big grab right there. So now Snowdon Deli Degens retake the lead up by a score of 26-22.
This is where Snowdon Deli Degens has to go for 2, which is what they had called. So let's see what they come up with. They don't normally go for 2 unless it's necessary. They're pretty efficient with the 1-point conversions. So let's see if Rick and Marty can actually get a stop and keep this still within a touchdown reach for to take the lead.
Pass on that gets intercepted by big man Jadaridi. He's not going to be able to run that one down, though, to return it for 2 points of his own. Yeah, now, probably coming into this game, I should say, Snowdon Deli Degens had only one 2-point convo in this postseason. That's actually made by Matthew Lutner. But again, that one didn't work out right there. So a 4-point lead now for Snowdon Deli Degens over Rick and Marty with about just inside of 6 minutes remaining in the contest.
Key thing for Rick and Marty, honestly, right now, just control the game. They have clock on their side. Most likely, Snowdon Deli Degens is going to get another possession out of it. I don't think you can milk 5 minutes. But honestly, just being efficient, take as much time as you can, but also if you see an opportunity to score, you score.
So catch right there by Burke on first down. Pickup of about 7, maybe 8 yards.
Keeping the Snowdon Deli Degens defense on the field is going to be something that Rick and Marty is going to look to keep going because a lot of these players are two ways. So again, getting Snowdon Deli Degens fatigued or even just agitated with nice catches and moving them down the field slowly, it could work out for Rick and Marty in the long run, especially with the clock winding under 5 minutes.
So second and about 2 right here, long 2. Freeman going to the sideline. Corey Sim Robertson, the big man with the catch. Tackled about 10 to 12 yards away from the end zone by Sam Anastopoulos. Saving a touchdown right there.
Yeah, honestly, credit to Sam for going across field there, for making that tackle. But again, Marty Freeman loves using the sidelines, and Corey Sims Robertson made it useful there and there. Because if Sam didn't make that tackle, he was walking away with the touchdown right there. Looks like they are outside the red zone. They're on the 11-yard line.
Yep.
So they could get a first down, but realistically, it's basically going in the end zone at this point.
First down would be at the 1-yard line with the ball being at the 11. Freeman going aloft over the middle. Schiller couldn't hang on, batted away. The last second by number 27 to Fixman.
Yeah, even Marty is he's pointing at himself that it's his fault because that ball was a bit behind Schiller, which resulted in, was that Matthew Fixman that got the? Yep, it was Matthew Fixman there with a big breakup. But if that ball was a bit more forward, Michael Schiller was probably to get that. So Marty knows that was on him.
And we have the Co-Ed 3 championship game coming up next between Mixtolo, the mixologist, if you will, and taking on Vultures. Get to that in a second. Pass over the middle. Oh, off the hands of Perez. See the disappointment in the body language right there by Anastasopoulos. If he would have been able to stay up on his feet, would have probably had an interception right there. We talked about his impact, like I said earlier, all-star in Division B, 5 INTs, a pick 6, 7 INTs in Division D, 2 INTs in Division C. Pretty much if you throw a ball in the vicinity of number 17 for Snowdon Deli Degens, if it's not on point, there's a chance he's going to come away with it.
100% there. Rick and Marty is very fortunate that Sam lost his footing there, wasn't able to catch that interception. A rare drop from Jonathan Perez there also.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the ball was also a bit high though, so not solely on his fault.
Coming into this game, Rick and Marty 12 for 13 in the red zone. Freeman gets a snap, throws a little miscommunication right there between Groper and his quarterback.
Yeah, rare miscommunication between Groper and Friedman.
So now fourth down now facing this Rick and Marty offense.
Yeah.
3 for 6 and fourth downs coming into today.
At this point, you have to go into the end zone. So again, Groper's gonna get attention, but you have Michael Schiller, who's been a target as well. You have Jonathan Perez, who's been steady. Brendan Burke, who hasn't been too loud in the second half so far, so maybe him being in the middle of the field could be something open up. We have Sam there, but if you have some distractions enough, you might be able to find a gap there for Burke to slid in for a touchdown. So we'll see what comes up there on fourth down.
Snowdon Deli Degens have held their opponents to 3 for 10 on fourth down. Pass, caught by Groper, touchdown, Rick and Marty.
Groper had to use his wheels on that route for sure.
Noah Groper showing his clutchness right there for a big grab. Less than 90 seconds remaining. Pardon me, just over 90 seconds remaining in the contest.
That was a nice 10 in, and no one followed. That's the thing. They were probably playing lanes there from Snowdon, but the thing is, they let off the cushion. No one was playing at the end zone, right at the line, so Groper had enough time to catch the ball there on the run, and basically was in the end zone right there.
And so let me ask you, so with a 28-26 lead right now for Rick and Marty, you mentioned it right there. No one was playing at the goal line. Everyone was playing back. As a defender, what would you be doing there?
So it's tough because you're just naturally backing up on defense, but you got to know where the sticks are, and they basically they weren't going to play for the first there. So as a defender, I would start off maybe like at the 5-yard line and back up to the point that you're in front of the goal line there. And unfortunately, the closest defenders were 2-3 yards behind the goal line, so it's just easier for Groper there.
So we go. Freeman gets the snap. 1-point convo attempt for his team. Pass over the middle. Berkey makes the catch, and he's in. 2-point lead now goes to 3. 29-26 is the lead for Rick and Marty. About 1:40 now remaining on the clock.
Again, Sam was there, but just not playing the front of the sticks, and that's how Brendan Burke was able to just catch the ball. Maybe a bit of trash talking there, you never know. But I know Brendan Burke is really hyped about this game, especially with the lead that they have now. So, with less than 2 minutes left, this is Snowdon Deli Degens' chance to prove that they could finish an undefeated season, like you said, with the Braves potentially tomorrow.
Anastasopoulos makes the catch. He's tackled immediately by Schiller. And again, Schiller now playing defensive back. Groper was able to get to the quarterback just a little bit faster than the longer Schiller, now playing rusher.
Yeah, switching to have Groper as rusher, smart, because Groper knows how to rush. Yeah, really good rusher in the higher divisions.
Pick up a 6 on first down. Now pass. Caught over the middle by Epstein. That's going to be enough for the first down. Pick up of about 6, 7, maybe we call it 8 right there on for second down by Epstein, picking up a first down, moving the chains, if you will, for his offense.
The thing, though, with having Groper as a rusher, it now leaves the opportunity to throw a bit more in the middle because Malinov wasn't able to throw as much in the middle with Michael Schiller in his face as a rusher. But having the shorter Groper, he may be quick to get there, and he's a really good rusher in Groper, but that potentially leaves the short yardages, especially up front.
Malinov moves quickly to the right, caught by Kadanoff. He's tackled by Perez. Pick up here of about, say, 5 yards here on first down.
Yeah, Malinov did have Anastasopoulos on a seam in the slot, but I guess he went shorter. Maybe didn't see Sam there, but Sam was definitely wide open there. The guys, no one picked him up.
Malinov moving his offense quickly. He's going to run here. Can he get it out of bounds? He does. Stops the clock as well. That was the main point right there.
Yeah, and still he didn't get the first, but again, the key thing was getting out of bounds there.
Yeah. So third down now and 1. 31 seconds remaining in the contest.
Great job from Snowdon Deli Degens for managing the clock. There's 30 seconds left in this game, and again, if they score, they want to leave with Rick and Marty with not much time on the clock, and they've been doing a great job at doing that so far.
Malinov gets a snap. He looks to the right. Oh, and a one-hopper off the floor. Intended receiver right there was number 14, Kadanoff, but again, that ball not having enough air underneath it.
This is a big fourth down here. 4th and 1.5 to 2, 1.5 roughly, or 1 yard. But Malinov could run it. But again, it's 4th down, so this is make or break for Snowdon Deli Degens.
Here we go. This could be the final play of the season here for the Snowdon Deli Degens offense. Malinov gets a snap. He looks to his left. He's going to his right. He's going to run. He's going to have enough for the first. Going towards the end zone. Touchdown, Snowdon Deli Degens, Adam Malinov.
What a concept there. I'm not sure if that was triple slants left, and then that created so much space on the right side. Yes, it was. It was triple slants left, which left Malinov with the one-on-one with Groper, and Malinov with the speed there was able to turn the corner and run it in for the touchdown for the lead.
32-29 lead for the Snowdon Deli Degens. 22.5 seconds remaining. You saw the replay right there again. He didn't see anything he liked down the middle. He said, I'm taking off down the right-hand side. And he made his way all the way to the end zone. 2-point convo attempt now. Double quarterback here being play, passed it back in the end zone, through the hands of the receiver and Fixman. Looks like he should have probably came down with that ball. He couldn't. So now again, the lead still is 32-29 in favor of the Snowdon Deli Degens.
Looks like with roughly 25 to 22 seconds on our clock, but maybe it's 25 perhaps. Do you still have the ability to get another first down? I expect Roper to probably have a target at this point. But again, you can still get a first down and the clock will stop. And they still have an extra timeout that they haven't used yet. So you still have that in the back pocket. But for Snowdon, again, big emphasis, keep the ball in bounds if you can. But again, you also don't want to let anything deep. You have Jonathan Perez, who has been shown to get in really open spots. You have Roper, who could run fast, and Michael Schiller as well. So
Freeman gets the ball here. He's going deep. He has Schiller open. Couldn't make the grab. Pass interference.
Yeah.
Being called against the Snowdon Deli Degens defense.
Yeah. Michael Schiller's definitely hobbling off of that, but what a call there.
And I can't argue. That's a good call right there. You're going to see on the replay, the cornerback never turns around and make a play on the ball.
100%.
And he makes contact with the receiver. That's a flag. I know Snowdon Deli Degens don't agree with the call, but it's a smart call. It's the correct call right there by Alexa Diab.
Yeah, 100% there. Matthew Fixman, he was step for step with Michael Schiller, but the fact that, like you said, never turned his head around for it. As soon as he turned his head, it would have been fine because the ball was underthrown, which honestly he could have gotten a pick out of it, but unfortunately there, never had a chance to turn his head around, and I think that was an easy call there, unfortunately. And the fact that the ball was underthrown too, that could have also been an interception. You have Michael Schiller there fighting for it, having to jump over Matthew Fixman. That almost could have been offensive PI if only Fixman was able to turn his head there, actually. So, I think now.
So I know right now I believe Snowdon Deli Degens are wondering if they could challenge this here.
Yeah, I think they're trying to debate if they will as well. And it looks like yeah. And I mean, I think they have how many? Have they used their timeout already? Have they used one? Because I mean, at this point, you might as well.
No, Rick and Marty. Rick
Yeah.
Marty used their timeout earlier. I mean, you have 2 timeouts per game, right?
Exactly. So I mean, at this point, you never know. I don't think the call's enough to overturn there, but you might as well. And also,
Well, you might as well try. I mean, this is it, right? I mean, just like 16 seconds left.
100%, and also gives us a chance to breathe here because that is a big momentum call. So at least maybe they could focus on perhaps figuring out their defense scheme if the challenge is unsuccessful.
So we see head referee Leo Gervais coming up to the replay booth now. He's going to check to see if he sees anything on the replay again. Obviously, Snowdon Deli Degens right now challenging a pass interference call on Matthew Fixman in the end zone. Pass was intended again for Michael Schiller, the big man there going down the left sideline. You can see on the replay up here again, Fixman. Coverage wasn't horrible, but again, he makes contact with the receiver and he doesn't get his body turned around at all. He doesn't even try to make to look to see where the ball is. I mean, from the NFL, the CFL, college ball, university ball, that call is going to be called, I think, all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately. And the thing is, he could have, if he turned, he probably was going to get an interception there or
at least a pass. Yeah, exactly. Or even past the defense, right? Like he would have knocked it down.
But that's the thing with the defender too. It's like if you don't turn, it's like it's so hard to get a call favored your way, especially if you don't turn. We saw the call with Marty on the earlier in the game too, where he didn't turn as well, and Evan Shivik drew that deep ball where it wasn't in his vicinity because Marty Freeman didn't turn around there. So this is roughly very similar.
I think I'm speaking a little prematurely here. I had a chance to work. I was on the call yesterday for the Sherbrooke Verrior against McGill Redbirds game. And there was about 3 times where that play was not called, where the defender did not turn around and make a play on the ball. And for some reason, the officials, Leo Gervais was actually part of that officiating crew, not to throw him under the bus. For some reason, that call wasn't made. It's not, he wasn't responsible. He wasn't the official on that side of the field when it happened. But the call wasn't made, which was surprising to me in the broadcast booth. And at least here in FPF, the right call was made right there. So again, credit to Alexa Diab for making that call. So obviously, assuming the call stands, we'll get the confirmation right after this.
Yeah, it looks like Leo is walking to make the
Rick and Marty's going to have the ball close. We're pretty much on the 1 yard line. Yep. The call was confirmed right there. DPI, defensive pass interference. Penalty against Fixman stands. So quickly, Keon, what are you calling here? If you're Rick and Marty, you're getting the ball really close to the end zone.
You have different options. You have no Groper running his triple moves in or out and out. You also have Michael Schiller on a one-on-one island, which has definitely been it has been a possibility. But the thing is for Snowdon Deli Degens, especially if the play evolves, watch the back of the end zones. We saw it before with Noah Groper being distraction for Corey Sims Robertson.
Yep.
And if you're Snowdon, Jeremy Steinberg hasn't had too much of an impact on his game, but it's not solely his fault. Sometimes, especially if your defense is letting up too much space for the offense, your rusher can't do anything about there. And Steinberg has done a very good job at containing Marty Freeman when he needed to, but especially with 1 yard, if they could give Steinberg a few seconds to get to Friedman, he's getting the sack. So let's see where they line up.
No, the ball's at
They
the
have
1 yard line here.
You have to play as close as you can. This
Here
is
we
much
go.
better for Snowdon. They're
16
much more tighter.
16.5 seconds remaining. Here we go. First down. Freeman gets the snap below one. He looks to the left, back to the middle of the field. Oh, just out of the reach. A Schiller flag on the play, though. So, yep, it's going to be either legal contact or pass interference against the Snowdon Deli Degens defense.
You guys see on the replay
Yeah, legal
who's
contact.
on.
It's legal contact against the defense.
Was that on Fixman, number 27, perhaps? Or it was on the outside, perhaps? I don't know.
Perhaps. I mean, anyways, fresh set of downs on first down again
Yeah.
for Rick and Marty. So and the big thing there, Keon, is only 3 seconds came off the clock.
Yeah.
16.6 seconds when the play started. 13 seconds remaining. Plenty of time right here for Rick and
100%.
Marty's offense.
I expect a lot of crossing. They're back in the end zones, as you saw. Michael Schiller was in the back there, so I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Schiller does a back end of the end zone in.
Well, here we
and
go.
then
Let's find out what he does. So snap, flag as well. Low snap and a
Oh.
flag at the same time here.
Okay, it was definitely on Matthew
So-
Lutner.
Wow. So Snowdon Deli Degens, they're being called. It's a rarely called penalty. Basically, in at least in FPF, you have to be about 3 yards away from the receiver before the
Yeah.
ball is snapped.
And I think especially because it was a center too, he was
Yeah.
straight. He was straight there. He didn't give enough
So-
space for the center.
So number 84, Lutner, was not 3 yards away from the center, hence the call. It's a rarely called penalty, I should say, pardon me. Usually the officials give the players a warning, the defensive players a warning before the staff tell them to back up or move over a couple of yards to the left or to the right. But players are supposed to be aware of where they are on the field, especially in the finals, right? So, and that's another first down here for the offense. Rick and Marty, snap. Freeman, throw it to the ground. Ooh, dangerous pass there intended for Groper that almost ended up in the hands, though, of number 12, Lewis Epstein, who was lurking in front of the goal line.
That was honestly for Snowdon Deli Degens. One Steinberg, he jumped, which if he didn't jump, he would have gone potentially the sack there. But that was good coverage all around. It was a tight window, and Marty Freeman threw it honestly perfectly where Groper could have had it. But it's a tight window there. And you had, I think, was that yeah, it was Lewis Epstein there too on the coverage. That I don't know. I don't think he got a hand on it, but his presence there was a really bang call there.
So after a couple penalties in a row going against the defense, see if they could come up and make a couple of stops here. Season championship on the line here.
Looks like Anastasopoulos is shadowing Groper here.
Freeman gets a snap. He looks to the left. Now goes to his right pass, and that goes out of bounds. Great coverage right there by the Snowdon Deli Degens defense, and a superb rush by Jeremy Steinberg.
100%. Great coverage there. I see now that they're probably going to keep Anastasopoulos on Noah Groper. Arguably their best defender against the best offensive player in this division. So that might be the matchup. So if Anastasopoulos is on Groper, who else could be an option for Rick and Marty?
So third down now coming up from the 1 yard line. 4.9 seconds remaining, so enough time for 2 plays here.
Yeah.
This game is definitely going the distance. 32-29 lead for Snowdon Deli Degens right now over Rick and Marty. Let's see what happens here on third down. Freeman gets a snap. He looks to his right. He goes right away. Groper with the drop. No pass deflection. That's Anastasopoulos there just getting a fingertip on the ball.
Yeah, I think Sam had just enough of a finger, and Groper had the ball in his hands too, but the misdirection of the ball could have caused that incompletion. You can see with the replay here, Groper runs it in out, And yeah, I think Sam potentially had it. Even maybe Evan Shibik could have played a factor too, but that's honestly the right play call for Rick and Marty, just unsuccessfully for them.
So here it comes. The game will be decided here. For timeout called right here by Rick and Marty. Smart timeout called by one of the captains on the team, number 33, Jad Aridi, coming down from the sideline there.
Yeah.
Only plays defense, so smart timeout right here. Gives his team a chance to stay longer in the huddle. Maybe think about something else they want to call here. Same thing for the defense. Defense has the time. You can see a lot of those guys going over to the sideline now, getting some water, taking a breath, talking things over. What are you calling right here? First, with the offense, what are you calling right here if you're a part of the Rick and Marty offense?
I think, unfortunately, you have to get Groper away from Sam Anastasopoulos, whether it's maybe a slant and like a indirect pick play, but getting Sam away from Groper, because Sam will jump for those passes, and that could have been the key factor of the last play. So getting Groper open. But you have Jonathan Perez as well as Brandon Burke and Michael Schiller as an option on the left side of the field. So I don't know. I know Marty loves Noah Groper as a receiver, and you trust him for being as a talented receiver as he is, but you might have to look other ways, especially for the last play, especially when Snowdon Deli Degens knows it's probably going to Groper. You have other options there, so let's kind of see if Rick and Marty could use one of their other receivers to get the game-winning catch.
And what are you calling here defensively if you're a member of the Snowdon Deli Degens? Again, looking to make this defensive stand.
Same thing. They've been playing, looks like lanes. They shadowed Groper with Anastasopoulos. But the rest of the defenders, whether it's Fixman, it's Lubner, or Epstein, have to be very tight. You can't let a quick move be the deciding factor. You have to be tight. Heck, if you get a holding penalty at this point, you do it. You're just not letting them score.
All right, here we go. Let's find out. 2 seconds remaining. Final play of the game. Pass it in zone. Perez! Touchdown! Rick and Marty! They're your Division D champs!
What a play call. Jonathan Perez. I did say someone, if Noah Groper is not the guy catching that, someone else is going to step up. And Jonathan Perez running a quick drag from the slot. Wide open there. Fixman did his best to follow, but when you're running a drag cross center with 1 yard, receiver has the advantage there day in and day out. So credits to Rick and Marty staying there composed and Jonathan Perez catching the game-clinching championship touchdown for Rick and Marty. Now you have the guys shaking hands, but what a game that was, 35-32.
Yeah, heck of an ending right there. Again, the 2 top teams in Division D. And the underdog, the 2 seed, coming away and getting the championship victory on the final play of the game. You could not have written it any better than that. Jonathan Perez with the game-winning score again, 35-32 win for Rick and Marty over the Snowdon Deli Degens. An amazing game. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, between the 2 best Division D teams, I couldn't expect anything different. It went down to the very last play. Credits to Snowdon Deli Degens. They were undefeated up to this point, and they lost with 1 play. And you can't take it sucks losing the championship on that play. I can only imagine at that point, but what an incredible season. They have a special group of guys there, and I hope they stick together in the sense. But for Rick and Marty, the poise, staying as the number 2 top team in the division with their path here, they deserved it. They played through thick and thin. Even when Snowdon scored in the second half to open the lead, you thought that, is Rick and Marty going to panic or a little bit? Marty Friedman and his guys stayed composed. They got touchdowns where they needed. And at the very end, Jonathan Perez, it's hard to not say his name now because got the game-winning touchdown from Marty. So
I got to ask you, obviously, again, heartbreaking way to end the season for the Snowdon Deli Degens. Again, they were 10-0. Again, looking to complete that path to perfection. Maybe they run it back. Next spring is a long time away, but maybe this coming fall season they run it back, maybe in Tier 3 or maybe even Tier 2. What do you think for next season, at least for the fall season, where do you think their ceiling is for this team?
For Snowdon?
Yeah.
I think they are running it back in Tier 3, from what I heard. I don't know what the roster is consist of fully. Actually, yeah, they are running it back from what I remember. So the roster is going to be very similar. They added some talent, which should they play Tier 3? I don't know, but I guess we'll see with the roster they have that they're able to fit in Tier 3. But this is a good team. They went 10-0 before and last spring. Unfortunately, they didn't come out on top. So this team is poised to win a championship soon. So I expect them to be together for a while.
All right, so we're going to shoot it down to the field with Jeff Rosenblatt, again, the CEO here of Flat Plus Football, to present the championship trophy and the MVP trophy as well.
Oh, yeah, we got the thumbs up? Felix, we got the thumbs up. Okay, I'm with the Division D Spring Champs, Rick and Marty. Let's give the trophy, Felix, to Captain Marty Friedman. Here's your banner also. We'll get to that after. And here, give me that. We'll get to that after. Okay, Marty, got to ask you a quick question as a team captain. You're playing with a real bunch of gooners over here from what I can see. Well, what's it like playing with obviously a bunch of your boys and winning a ship with them?
Feels great, man. My boys are goons, but it's fun to play with them. They always come up big in those big moments, and that's what brought us the ship.
They did come up big. I'll give them that. And to present the MVP, it's sponsored by, let me just show you this, Jax's Pro Rubbing Mud. I know if you guys know me, I'm big about preparing your leather balls. So for the winning quarterback, we got a Jack's Rubbing Mud for you. And the MVP also goes to Marty Friedman. So Marty, double trouble. I'm going to ask you one more thing. You know, I see Groper, Jad, I see Perez, I see all the boys over here. Again, it's sort of a repetitive question, but how does it feel to win it like with your buddies, you know, as opposed to just a group of guys? These are your buddies. Tell me how it feels.
It's just an extra layer of sweetness, man. My boys, they deserve it. They got us here. We closed out. Actually, Jeff, you brought me into the league, but that's a story for another day.
Yes.
But yeah,
yes.
It feels really good.
Very nice. Recent father, congratulations. Mazel tov to Marty. And we got our Division D champs, Rick and Marty, back to the booth.
All right,
Am
so
I
there you go. The championship trophy being presented to Rick and Marty. MVP of the game appears to be Marty Freeman, the quarterback, rightfully, deservedly so. A huge victory. Again, so now we talked about Snowdon Deli Degens. For Rick and Marty now, right? This is a championship for them. For Marty Freeman, this is first, right? Yeah. Again, a veteran. He's been in the league for a long, long time, winning his first championship, so congrats to him. Where do you think this team could go next?
I think definitely, I don't think Marty usually plays in the fall, so I think they're going to come back usually in the winter. That usually tends to be with Marty. I would say, honestly, maybe Division 4. I don't know about Division 3, but like, they have a good fun group of guys. I had the experience of playing with them last year, so they have a group of guys there, and I expect them to just jump up. I mean, you want a championship in Division D, so whether you come back in the fall, you come back in the winter, you're going to be moving up. So, and also with that, you can add maybe a piece or two, but definitely when they come back, they're going to be hungry to win more. I know Marty, one's not going to be enough for him.
All right, so basically what you're saying is because you played on the team, you propelled them to championship victory today. I'm joking. Yeah, so again, hey, listen, great game. Congratulations to both teams. Again, heartbreaking loss for Snowdon Deli Degens. Their path to perfection falls literally one play short. Congrats, though, to, again, Rick and Marty. Huge comeback victory. You got to give credit, though, to that Snowdon Deli Degens defense, right? They had 3 penalties in a row, gave a bunch of first downs to their opponents. They stopped them once, they stopped them twice, stopped them 3 times, just again falling short just on the last play of the game. That's how sometimes football is, right? Sometimes football will be your best friend, sometimes you'll hate it, and I guess maybe for tonight, tears of joy for one side, tears of agony for another. 35-32 victory for Rick and Marty over Snowdon Deli Degens. Rick and Marty are your Division D champs. He's Keon, I'm Brent. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, up next we have the Co-Ed 3 championship game coming up between Mixologists, Mixologe, and the Vultures. Stay tuned.